Hello and welcome to the Donkey Sanctuary Sidmouth. The wait is finally over. We are live and ready to meet our 7 new adoption donkeys for the very first time. Over the next half an hour, we'll be introducing you to 2 new donkeys in Belfast, Ivybridge and Leeds, as well as 1 new donkey right here in Sidmouth. Our wonderful family of adopters help us to raise vital funds that support not only their chosen donkeys, but thousands of others across the world. So we are incredibly excited for you to meet the 7 new characters who will be available to adopt from this evening. We start at the Donkey Sanctuary Belfast, where best friends Alfie and Benji are preparing to move on to pastures new. We'll be sad to see them go, but they are passing their adoption batons on to 2 wonderful new donkeys. Say hello to Felicity and Marco.
Welcome to the Donkey Sanctuary Belfast. We're super excited for you to meet our new adoption donkeys, Marco and Felicity. So if you're ready, we'll go in and say hello to them now. So Marco is 2 years old. He arrived with us at the end of last year in September, and Felicity is 6 years old and she came to us in May last year in 2021. Felicity was actually part of a rescue case here a couple of years ago, and she was brought in with 3 other donkeys, Francis, Fidelma and Gwen, all brought in together to the Donkey Sanctuary care, and at the same time Gwen also happened to be pregnant with Marco. And then him and Felicity came to live at the Donkey Sanctuary Belfast with us to sort of take part in the work that we do here with the donkey assisted activities. Felicity is a super independent donkey. She is always off charging around doing something. She's always rounding up the girls. She's hanging out with everybody all of the time. Curious about everything that's going on. She always wants to know what's happening. Marco is just a super playful, curious youngster. He's always getting into the mix of everything that happens here. He's always playing with anything he can get his mouth on. He's stealing things out of your pocket. Whenever we have visitors here, we do a little demonstration of grooming and picking out feet and things like that to show us sort of the care that we give to the donkeys. And as Colleen had bent down to pick out a donkey's foot, he walked over and took the hoof pick out of her pocket and ran away with it. Felicity's kind of a really laid-back, chill donkey. She kind of goes with the flow with everything else that's happening here. So she likes to get involved in anything that's going on. Anything food orientated especially, she's very, very interested in anything that involves food. She's going to be first in there to find out what's happening. And she's really cuddly. She'll sometimes just come up to you and want to have just hang out and have a little scratch in the ears and just be loved on a little bit. She's very, very relaxed. Marco, on the other hand, is non-stop play most of the time. He's always chasing somebody around with a welly or with a treat ball or something that he's going to engage someone and play with. And he is also super cuddly. Like, will come up and put his head on your shoulder whenever he wants to have his whole face rubbed over, and he'll just stand there and love on you for a little bit, so he's very sweet too. Felicity is definitely the leader of most of the herd and most of the girls anyway. She's always rounding them up. Like, if I want to go down and bring them in for breakfast, I know I can call Felicity and she'll lead everybody else to come back inside. Marco is super friendly with our other youngster, Maroni, who's also 2 years old. Out of the youngsters that we have here, he's definitely the most mature and confident and independent of them all. So he's very good at showing them, what to do as well. He's very good at that. I'm super excited that they're going to join our adoption scheme. They're both just such strong, different personalities. I'm really excited for adopters to see the differences in them and see their stories play out here.
How lovely are they? Felicity and Marco there are 2 new adoption donkeys in Belfast. If you would like to support our work by adopting Felicity, head to bray.news/Felicity, where she is now available to adopt for £3 a month. Or if Marco caught your eye this evening, go to bray.news/Marco, where you can adopt him for the same monthly donation of just £3. When you adopt a donkey, you receive 2 gorgeous portraits of your new friend, along with a lovely display frame to put them in. You also get 4 beautiful postcards, a certificate, a membership card and a guide for getting the most from your adoption. All of our adoption donkeys, including the 7 we're revealing this evening, are also available to visit. More details are available on our website. Regular visitors to our Ivybridge Sanctuary will know that adoption donkeys Pooh and Eeyore have been living at the centre for a number of years. At the respectable age of 21, the boys are now ready to find a new home where they can enjoy a calm and relaxing retirement. After a long selection process, the team in Ivybridge have picked out 2 wonderful new donkeys to take on the role. Introducing Rickon and Tornado.
Hello and welcome to the Donkey Sanctuary Ivybridge. It's time to introduce you to 2 special new faces. Let's go down and meet them. Rickon's 8 years old, coming on 9 soon. Tornado is 7 and they've been here at the Donkey Sanctuary Ivybridge since 2019. So Tornado, he's a little brown donkey. He loves human contact. He's usually the first to come forward when we have visitors. He loves interaction with staff, with visitors, with volunteers, everybody really. Rickon, he's a white donkey with a few little tiny black patches on him. He's very friendly. He likes interaction as well with visitors and staff and volunteers. If something's happening the other side of the gate, he will always come out of the barn and have a look what's going on. He likes to play tug of war with the wellies and roll the pony nuts around. He's very funny, very playful. Rickon and Tornado are a bonded pair. They tend to always stick together. They love to groom each other. They always play with each other. If we ever have to take one of them up to the vets or we take them for walks around Ivybridge, they do have to go together because that's how bonded they are. Rickon and Tornado met at the Donkey Sanctuary in Ireland. They came into our care after being seized by the Irish Authority. Then over the course of the next few years, they made their way over to the Donkey Sanctuary Ivybridge, where they live today. They're very happy boys. They like to play together. They like to play within the herd. They like any kind of the enrichment we put out, especially the herbs and spices on the trays and warm fruity tea. I'm really excited that Tornado and Rickon are joining the adoption scheme. They're lovely, handsome boys, lovely characters, and I'm sure that the adopters will absolutely love them.
Amazing! 2 more beautiful donkeys joining our adoption herd, Rickon and Tornado at the Donkey Sanctuary Ivybridge. If you would like to adopt Rickon this evening, head to bray.news/Rickon, where you'll find all the information you'll need. Or if Tornado's the donkey for you, take yourself over to bray.news/tornado to join his adoption family for £3 a month. Still to come, we'll be introducing you to another 3 of our new adoption donkeys, including one right here at the Donkey Sanctuary Sidmouth. But first, we want to show you what your adoption could mean to donkeys in desperate need. When you adopt a donkey, you are not just supporting them, you are also supporting our vital work. You are supporting our farms that provide donkeys in need with a place to call home. You are supporting our welfare team who strive to make sure that no donkey lives a life of neglect or suffering. And you're supporting thousands of donkeys across the globe in desperate need of your help. You are providing a lifeline for donkeys like Lily.
When I first arrived at the location, the first donkey I noticed was Lily. She stood out because she had a huge amount of hair loss. She was relatively inquisitive, but she was quite nervous about me and didn't want me to get too close. Amy, however, she looked listless. The most concerning thing I saw was the condition of their hooves. They were starting to twist and deform. The donkeys received immediate care from a team of vets. We were still really concerned about both of the donkeys, but in particular Amy. We just couldn't keep her pain under control, and unfortunately we had to make the heartbreaking decision to put her to sleep. Since Lily's rescue, her life has changed totally. I am just so happy to see the contrast in her personality, in her demeanour. Everyone was quite concerned about Lily after she lost Amy, but she was introduced to the herd and immediately fell in love with a little donkey called Faith. Ever since then, they've been absolutely inseparable. The generosity of our supporters is what allows us to continue rescuing donkeys like Lily and Amy. I dread to think what the outcome would have been for Lily if we hadn't been there to rescue her.
Lily's story could have ended very differently if it wasn't for people like our adopters. On Lily's behalf, thank you for your generosity. It is time now to turn our attention to our Leeds sanctuary, where the herd are currently 2 adoption donkeys short. As you may remember, Ripple and Billy-O headed off to Devon to start their next chapter back in May. The boys are settling in well to their new home at Packham Farm, so it is now time for them to bow out and hand over adoption donkey duties to 2 new faces back in Leeds. Without further ado, it's time to welcome Theo and Tat.
Hello and welcome to the Donkey Sanctuary Leeds. We're very excited to be able to introduce you to Theo and Tat, the new adoption boys. Come on through. Theo is 12 years old and he has been living at the Donkey Sanctuary Leeds since September 2020. Tat is 13 and he has been living here since November 2019. Theo is a very, very playful donkey. He quite often is caught trying to get another donkey to chase him, so he'll run up to them, give them a little nibble on the back and then go run away. He loves a game of chase. And Tat, he loves play too. If he can find a welly boot, if he can find a little ball to play with, he will do that. He absolutely adores playing. Both of them are such playful characters. Tat absolutely adores ginger biscuits. So when we're doing our training with Tat, we give him a ginger biscuit, but afterwards he can't help his tongue sticks out the side of his mouth. So there is no way that anybody could sneak him a ginger biscuit without anybody knowing. Tat has a good friend in Jack, so both of them came to the Donkey Sanctuary Leeds together. And then Theo, he has a son here who is also one of his best friends. David is 4 years old and very close to his dad. Theo was brought into the sanctuary due to neglect. He was found on a yard with a mare called Connie, who has gone on to a guardian home to live her forever life, and David, his son. They were being severely neglected, so they were very underweight and they had long hooves. He was a really bad neglect case, but he has found his home here at the sanctuary. So when Theo and Tat first came onto the yard, Tat came down as a completely gentle donkey, so he kind of just stands in the background. He lets everybody else have a go at the new fresh straw. He's very, very gentle, so he got on really well with the whole herd. When Theo came onto the yard, he came down with his son David, who is very playful, and I think he was very grateful for the new babysitters that were on the yard. We are extremely excited to have Tat and Theo on the adoption scheme because they absolutely adore meeting new people. When people come to visit the donkeys, they are up at the fence, meeting and greeting, saying hello, and due to their playful nature, it's great fun to watch them together.
Two more beautiful boys joining the adoption scheme there, Theo and Tat at the Donkey Sanctuary Leeds. If you would like to become one of the first to join Theo's adoption family, head to bray.news/Theo, where he's now available to adopt for just £3 a month. Or if Tat's won your heart, head over to bray.news/Tat, where you will find all the details you need on how to adopt him. Now, earlier in the year, we shared the sad news that our adoption mule Millie had passed away at the age of 24. She was loved dearly by her adopters and visitors, and of course by staff and volunteers here in Sidmouth. Being the superstar that she was always going to be a hard act to follow. After careful consideration, the team here picked out a donkey that they felt could do Millie proud by following in her footsteps. It's time to reveal the last of our new adoption donkeys. Say hello to... Percy! That's right, Percy de Poitou is our new Sidmouth adoption donkey, and joining us now is farm manager Maxine, who's going to introduce us.
Good evening everyone, I hope you've enjoyed your sanctuary to your sofa so far. Well, here we are live with the Poitou donkeys and live with Percy. I'm hopefully in the next few minutes going to be walking around amongst these donkeys and showing you Percy. So we'll do our best to keep with him at all times. So Percy, as you've probably seen, is 16 years old. He arrived with us in 2008, so that was 14 years ago. He came with 3 other donkeys and he joined this herd. He is a single donkey and he has no particular best friends. In fact, all the donkeys in this group are his friends. And over the evening, he'll be out here grazing like he is now. He's very special to us because he is a beautiful, pure Poitou. You can see how different he is from all the other donkeys we've shown you so far. He's got a totally different coat. You can see it's long and it's very fine. You can also see that he's had his belly trimmed, and that was by us. That's because we've had such a hot summer that our dear Poitous who have the longer coat do actually sweat, and they can rub and they can get sore. So we do that for them, for their welfare, to make them feel better, and then we can keep an eye and groom them. They get groomed every other day by our volunteers or by our team with a special conditioner. The original Poitous that arrived to us back in 1988 actually arrived with dreadlocks. Yes, dreadlocks. So this coat here traditionally is left to get matted. And what they used to say in the Poitou region of France was, the more mats the Poitou has, the wealthier the family were. But we found that when the donkeys arrived to us in that state with such thick coats, with the Poitous, what we couldn't tell was actually what their body condition was like underneath, what their skin was like. So what we did was we clipped them, and then after that we keep them brushed and groomed regularly, so you see this beautiful silky coat. As you can see, Percy is absolutely beautiful. He's a gentle giant and he's very precious to us. He's one of 4 donkeys in this group. And if you do come and visit him, you'll also see some other very large donkeys. It is very different here, and we're a bit away from the main site, so do be prepared for a little walk. We've also got webcams in the barn. So if you aren't able to come here and actually visit Percy in person, then you can see him from home, see him from your lounge. And yes, you can see he'll stand out, so you'll easily tell who he is. You can see Percy and the other donkeys around him at the moment have got red collars on. Red are for boys, and then yellow are for girls. We also put different tabs on the collars to make sure that we know if any donkeys are on an extra feed or if they need any medication. If they need medication, then we put orange tabs on, and then we know when we come and do night checks in the evening that which donkey needs its medication. However, the donkeys know who are on extra feed, they know who are on medication, and they're always waiting for us by the gate. But as you can see, Percy is foraging around the grass. We've put some enrichment out this evening in the form of some vitamins and minerals, and that's a forage feed that's been made specifically for donkeys. It's just in addition to what they are usually used to, and it's an added addition that we give in the day. So I'm just going to walk further up the field here. But Percy differs from the other donkeys in other ways because what he has is the Poitou suffer more with feet problems. So we have to keep an eye on their feet. Their average age isn't the same as a normal donkey. A normal donkey, the smaller ones that you've already seen, live to about the age of 32. These guys live into their 20s, sometimes just their teens, because of the foot problems that they have. But we are very lucky here in Sidmouth and for all the other farms that are close by, because we actually have our own hospital. We have our own vets, we have our own nurses. We're able to do pathology, so we're able to do blood samples, we're able to do worm samples to make sure that they're all fit and healthy. But yes, Percy is a Poitou and he's there for you to adopt. Something very different, but a lovely replacement for our dear Millie, who we sadly lost, but he is just as special as she is.
And Maxine, what is your personal favourite aspect of a Poitou donkey?
Their big ears. Their ears are just delightful. But if they give you a good rub on the back or on your side and then they give their head a shake, they do quite hurt because they are very, very big. But they do like scratches inside with their ears. That's something that probably people don't know. And it makes them go all sleepy and they absolutely love that. So a good old scratching in the donkey's ears is great for them.
Brilliant. And how many donkeys live in his herd?
In his herd there's 19 up here. So we can have up to 25 if we need to, because what we look at is the bedded area where the donkeys live and lay down and the amount of grazing that these donkeys have got. The donkeys here in Sidmouth are very fortunate. These guys have got 4 fields that they can roam and graze. Luckily they're staying in one field this evening, so we're okay. Otherwise we could have done a bit of a trek and a bit of a walk. But they're not behind any electric fencing. They're free to roam where they want to go and choose what they want to eat. Also, we do some things with them called enrichment, and that can be branches off a tree, it can be drain pipes full of treats, it can also be Wellington boots, and a lot of those we get donated, the spare boot, and then we might put some treats, some polos, some carrots in it, and the donkeys pick it up and they chuck them around. But what Percy does like to do, and he's not doing it this evening, he likes to get a bike tyre. And he'll get hold of one side and then one of his friends will get on the other and they'll pull it along, and they call that tug of war, but they absolutely love it. We can also put some smells in. It could be some ginger, or it could be some honey, or it could be some jam, and again that they can smell different things, but it's hedgerows and anything they do to differ to make their life better for them here in Sidmouth.
And does Percy's hairdo ever get so long it falls down into his eyes?
Yes, it does. But we've got some good grooms that are sort of part hairdresser. Some of them have actually trained to be a hairdresser. So we can, fine tune it and make it look okay. But like I said, with their bellies, they do need those clipped. Not all the Poitous like being clipped. They could find, a bit difficult, so we have to do a little bit at a time. So you might see a bit of belly off one day and a bit the next, so we just do it gradually, just to keep them comfortable.
And so why was he chosen to join the scheme here?
Because he's a Poitou, because he's beautiful, because he's a gentleman, and it's something different for our supporters. We used to have a Poitou many years ago on scheme, and everybody loved it, and they've always said, when are we having another one? And today we're doing it. We're actually putting Percy on the scheme for our supporters to adopt, come and see from their home.
Brilliant. And how excited are you that he is joining the scheme, Maxine?
I'm really excited. I think it's absolutely amazing for the Poitou donkeys we've got here at the moment, the Poitou donkeys we've had in the past. It is great for the breed. It is great for our supporters to see that not only do we look after small donkeys, but we actually look after these big, gentle characters too.
So, Percy is now available to adopt along with our 6 other new adoption donkeys across the UK. For more information or to start your adoption journey, head to bray.news/adopt. And of course, all of our adoption donkeys are available to visit at our sanctuaries across the UK. If you would like to come along and meet them for yourself, full details can be found at bray.news/visit. Please just note that visits to our regional sanctuaries do need to be booked in advance. Now, it wouldn't be right for us to end this evening without paying tribute to our wonderful adoption donkey Hannah, who passed away suddenly on the 19th of August. Hannah touched many lives during her time at Manchester, where she took part in our Donkey Assisted Activities programme, helping to support vulnerable children and adults. She then spent her golden years here at the Donkey Sanctuary Sidmouth, enjoying a well-earned retirement alongside her closest pals, Coco and Drizzle. Now, she spent her golden years here. She'll be dearly missed by everyone who knew her, especially her wonderful family of adopters. The sanctuary certainly won't be the same without her. We'll be writing to Hannah's adopters over the next couple of weeks to let them know what is happening next with their adoption. But we can reveal today that Hannah's best friend Drizzle will be taking her place on our adoption scheme. 11-year-old Drizzle came into our care in 2011 with her friend Tornado and formed a close bond with Hannah during their time together at Shelter 1. She is an incredibly laid-back and friendly donkey and loves to be pampered by our team. Her small stature and beautiful multicoloured coat make her a real standout member of the herd. Unlike our other new adoption donkeys, Drizzle isn't available to adopt just yet, but keep an eye on our social media channels over the next few weeks for more details. And that's it from us live in Sidmouth. We hope you enjoyed this evening's exciting introductions. A special thank you to our grooms, farm teams and all those working hard behind the scenes to bring this evening to life. We'll be back with a brand new Sanctuary from Your Sofa event in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled for details, but until then, thank you for watching and we will see you soon.